Yeah, are you going live?
Yeah. What is it saying? That's how you want to do. That's how you want to do. Let's. Do I look like? Do I look okay? Hey guys, a little tired though.
We don't own the right to this music.
Wi-Fi on.
Our Wi-Fi is off. What's up, everybody?
Me?
Hey. Happy Thursday, everybody. Happy Thursday. It's almost the end of the week. Hey.
Anyways.
Hey. Make a video. How y'all doing today?
Hey, Brandon takes the lead, y'all. I'm excited. Yes, girl.
We don't own the rights to this music. It's Chris Brown music. We don't own the rights. But the topic tonight is
Happy. While you're talking and the music is on blast.
I love it though.
He likes it. It gets him excited, but I'm like, I can't hear you. What are the people saying?
Why should you?
Huh?
Why should your marriage be prioritized, right? Priority.
Why should marriage be priority, guys? Why?
Right.
Tell me why.
Why should your marriage be priority, right? We're about to get started in just a minute, guys. We're gonna let y'all get in. We checking in from the A.
Okay. We don't want the rest of this music once again. We don't want the right.
So we're gonna go ahead and get started, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Today's Thursday. Why should your marriage be a priority, right? We're gonna get into that topic. This is actually, the mic is on, right? Yeah, it's on. This is actually a topic that we actually discussed towards the end of last year, and I thought it would be a good topic to go over again. What happened? Oh, I thought it'd be a good topic to go over again since it's the beginning of the year, right?
Refresher, why not?
Refresher, right? So, it's the beginning of the year. You want to start off on a good note, good foot with your spouse, right? It's January, even though we wrapping it up towards the end of the year. End of the month. My bad. You got me. There you go. See, that's why she got me.
You took your vitamins today?
You already asked that question. You should know. Listen, right? But anyway, yeah, I caught off guard on that one, y'all. Y'all gotta check that out. She wasn't even ready. She didn't even know, right? So why should your marriage be a priority, right? And we're starting this off in the first of the year.
Put in the chats, guys. I'm not being rude. I'm putting in the chats.
We're starting this off first of the year, first month. Right now you might be doing your thing of getting in shape for the summer. Still,
shape for the summer.
Still going through those, getting in shape for the summer.
Why is marriage priority?
Yeah, right. And you might be doing that, what do you call it? Outing right now, fasting. Fasting might be going on right now. It's the first of the year. Might be fasting. New Year's resolution, New Year's goals. Hey, what's up, everybody? Check us out on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and all that. You know what I mean? So here we go. So yeah. So with that being said, why should your marriage be a priority? Because it's the number one thing.
To who?
To you and your spouse, besides God, that you should be prioritizing, right? right? Because this is your teammate. This is your buddy. This is your ace spoon cook.
Your buddy.
Yes, the number one, the one and only, right? So the first thing, me, I always say, the one reason you should prioritize your marriage is because, hey, especially for us fellas, in Proverbs 18:22.
Oh, drop them.
God has already given you favor simply because you have a wife. That's for my fellas out there.
No, say that one again.
God has already given you favor, my dude.
I need to quote that tomorrow, tonight.
God has already given you favor because you got a wife.
Well, hold on. Tell me that thing again.
Proverbs 18:22.
Proverbs
18:22.
18:22.
God has already given you favor simply because you have a wife. Wow.
Did you know that?
Yes. You know why? Because your wife is also your helper as well. Man shouldn't be left alone, right? So, especially speaking from, the man's point of view, we got to have somebody there for us to help us out through these times. And you got to make sure that she's okay. So you got to prioritize, what's going on with her to make sure everything flows right. You know what I mean? What do you think about that?
Man, I'm a blessing to your life, buddy. What you mean?
Exactly, right? So if she's a blessing to my life, then what does that mean?
Versa, of course.
Well, that's what I was about to say. So what does that mean? We both getting blessed, right?
Oh, which way? Which way we getting blessed?
Every way. Every which way, right?
Mm.
So, the things that haven't been going for you that you've been wanting or you've been desiring for you and your family. Maybe y'all been in that apartment, right? Maybe y'all in that apartment and y'all been dating and been girlfriend and boyfriend, but you want to say y'all married, but y'all ain't got no papers and no rings to say it, right? It's not under God, right? But you wondering why y'all still living in an apartment and not in that house. Mm-hmm. Hey, God is waiting for you to do what you're supposed to do so he can go ahead and bless your marriage. He said, all right, you know what? Y'all made this covenant under God. Here you go. I'm going to provide a house for you now to demonstrate.
That was us, isn't it?
Right. I'm going to provide a house for y'all to demonstrate the blessings that I have for you in your marriage. Because what God wants, he always wants us to be a good example, right, of his kingdom. So, prioritizing your marriage is being a good example of, what God wants.
I didn't mention that because the book that I read, that I'm reading, Kingdom Marriage, goes over, no, not Kingdom Marriage, was it Kingdom Marriage? Either Kingdom Marriage or Wife After God. It talked about, I think it was Wife After God, or both, I don't know. It talked about the gift of marriage and how God pours favors over the spouses because of the covenant of marriage. I think that's the kingdom marriage that I'm reading, the book. It's really good. It goes into that.
That right there is just amazing.
You're turn the seat off pretty soon, right?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna turn it up. That is amazing within itself right there. You know what I mean? So you already getting favored by, you got your partner. God bless you with a woman. She bless you with that spouse, that helper, that nurturer, that, that motherly, that, that confidant right there. God has already gave you favor off of that. And then he's blessing both of you guys because you are one as a unit. You're one.
Marriage though. Not, okay. Not.
Here you go.
Not.
Here you go.
Not. And this is not.
Turn this heat off real quick.
And this is not trying to throw shade or be funny or hate or just be, I don't know, whatever y'all want to take it, malicious or offensive. But this does not qualify you if it's the whole, oh, she's like my spouse. She's like my wife. We live together. Yeah. Oh, she's like my wife. We've been together 25 years. Oh, she's like my husband. He's like my husband because, we've been together since we were, 12 years old or 15 or whatever it is. That's not like, that's one of me. I'm going to tell y'all right now. And some of my people know that's one of my pet peeves. Like, don't sit here and, oh, my wife. And I'm like, well, y'all not really married. You're not married, period. You might have been engaged. You might be living together. You might have the child, the whole shebang. Or one of you might be like, I don't want to get married. It's not for me. or whatever you say. It is what it is. But this is not saying that you're married, because you're not. I don't like that.
Right. So prioritize, right? So the first thing is prioritizing your spouse. So she will be first, under God, she will be next, and vice versa. Under God, I will be next, right? Not even the kids. Not even the kids come first, because you know what? A lot of us get confused on with this family life, and the kids are running the show with all their activities and stuff that they got going on and events.
Yeah, that happened. I didn't even tell you about that. My aunt said that to me the other day, because we were discussing the husband first, and she was like, well, what about like kids and all these things and how you got to raise them and this and that. And I was like, yeah, you do, you have to, but it's still not before your spouse.
Correct, right? You don't allow your kids, and you know what? It's sometimes I'm not even gonna be. We are guilty of sometimes our kids starting a disagreement between us, right? And we check ourselves. We like, hold up.
Like we argue because of something that what was said between you and the child.
Because kids will play parents against each other. I know I was a kid. I did it to my parents. I played them against each other. And then it was like, hold up, you said this and she said that. And now what? We're not on the same page, right? Okay. So, that's the thing. You don't want to put your kids before your marriage, right? First of all, because then you get caught up in that life of, okay, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, and you're doing everything.
And there's a difference when it comes to like, yes, the kids are younger, yes, they have sports, yes, they have other things going on, and we're not saying neglect your children, but we're also saying you still make time first for your spouse.
Right.
It's not, oh, we got the kids, we're taking care of them, we're doing all these things, and you neglect your husband or wife. And then now 15, 20 years later, you don't even know who you're married to. Correct. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because we have little ones too. Well, 9 and 5, and now with the baby coming, it's hard for us to put us first. But we make sure, for number one rule is we let the kids know.
Yes.
Like our children.
You gotta let them know. You gotta let them know.
Daddy's first. Well, God. God is first. They know God is always first. And then they know Daddy's second. To daddy, mommy second, and then they know they're next. And sometimes, especially my youngest, he's like, no, me first. And we're like, no, like it's hard. And we don't say it mean, we tell them we still love them, we still take care of them, but we make sure they know, like we're God, and then our spouse, and then them. And that it's easier to balance because now you're balancing your kids along with making sure your husband or wife is first.
Yes.
Not only the kids, and you don't even do date night in 2 years.
Yeah, and speaking of date night, that's another thing. If you're going on more kid dates and play dates then with your spouse, that is an issue and a problem. You got to solve that. Okay, you can't be going on more play dates and kid dates.
That shows what's priority.
Right.
Now it's showing your kid is priority over your marriage.
Right.
And I know there's people out there that would argue with me right now and be like, no, my kids come first. Because I've had some, that someone put it on Facebook a while ago, like, do your kids come first and this and that? And there's a lot of people that they're like, yes, like my kid is always first. And I didn't even get into that because that was a whole 200 and something comments. And I'm like, I'm not even going to get into it because that's what they believe. And at the end of the day, I feel, and you might want to check whatever you want to check, but check those marriages. And I'm not even being funny or trying to throw shade.
Yeah.
But if you're sitting here saying your kids are first, how is your relationship? How is your marriage as far as priority?
And that goes for goes for step parents as well. I know it's hard to say, the kid has been there and stuff like that. But that goes for, step parents and blended families, right? You really got to look at your spouse. And you chose to marry them, right? You took that choice. You made that vow, right? So that's the person that's now in your life that you partnered up with life. Once your kid leave the house, which is say, child should leave mother and father, then who's there? Your spouse. So you got to have that already set in place before they leave the house, before you become empty nesters, right? Because then you're looking at each other like, who are you? And I don't know what's going on, because you've been so involved, right? You've been so involved. And another reason is also, so right there, that's another reason you should prioritize your marriage, because it's going to be your marriage. Then, well, it's going to be God, it's going to be you and your spouse, your kids. Then you will have your family after that. And then you might have either between your career and your friends and then your hobbies after that. You know, that should be the order in which your marriage should be prioritized, right? The next thing is, I was looking at.
Well, babe, I wanted to say, you were saying something about the favor. And I found one part, and it is in the book, Kingdom Marriage. This last part says, frequently the well-being of a marriage is determined by whether a man and a woman are reflecting God's image in their individual roles. Once that marriage shatters, so once the marriage shatters, you know, they're not in the same alignment, or even cracks, the reflection of the relationship breaks it. Nearly every time there's a family breakdown, it is the result of one or both spouses operating outside the covenant bonds of marriage. They are modeling a broken mirror. As a result, they experience less of God's favor.
So that right there is saying, if you and your spouse is not aligned, and you're not living that life of God's kingdom, right? If you're not putting it together to work together to be that example, then you're pretty much shattering your marriage. And that right there is not an example of God. So that's why you're not getting those favors or those blessings in your life that you're expecting. That new job you've been applying to, you're not getting it right now. You know, that extra income, that raise or that promotion you've been looking for is not happening.
It's different blessings, different abundances, and it's not like, oh, you're punished and you're
it's not that.
But it's just the fact that it's a different covering over people that are under this different lifestyle.
Yeah, and it's not that, oh no, God is like, I'm not blessing you because your marriage is in shambles, or no. The reason why, it's more like this. I'm not going to give you this financial increase because I know you might just act up even more. It's something like that. I got it waiting for you, but look, it's sometimes that, you know, I'll tell you one thing about me. At one point I was scared of fame, and I was also scared of growth and financially, because I didn't feel that I could handle that, right? And that's a lot of things. A lot of people are afraid of success, and people don't speak about it. A lot of people are afraid of success because guess what? They don't know how to handle success when it gets there, because it's too much for them. And they'll go back into their old lifestyle before they got married, or when they lived a single life, of doing those things, because now the money's here. Now I'll put my spouse to the side because look, I got the money. I don't care, whatever you do, what you want to do. I do what I want to do. I got my money, right? That's how people start to look at things, you know? And then now it comes into being that selfish person, because now the finance is there, and now you're spending on stuff that is not even,
because you're not aligned
with your marriage.
Look at this. When we align our lives under God and his rule, he radiates and magnifies his glory too. In and through us, we experience the abundant life and abundant marriages Christ came to secure on our behalf. And that's John 10:10.
Right. See, God has declared the two of you to be one in his sight, right? That's Matthew 19:4-6, you know. And God has also given you, as a husband, the power and the authority. So use them, right? As the leader of the household, as the head of the house, and prioritizing your marriage, he gave you the authority over certain things. He promised you certain things. As a husband, he gave you the authority over certain things. And those things you can pray about, those things you can speak into existence, and he will look out that. And that's the thing. You're wondering why your wife is doing other things that you ask of her, and not doing things. And I'm not saying, you know, do this, do that. No, you're not demanding, but God looks at it as us being as the leader of the household. Are you submitting to me? Because your wife is not going to submit to you if you're not submitting to God.
Yeah. So you know what? Perfect example. Like I'll give a case like today. So there's when we got, I'm gonna play a scenario that it could have went two ways. And this is how you know that priority and submission is aligned, right? We just came back from our oldest basketball practice, and Brandon is the coach. You know, they worked out, we were there. It was late, it was 7 to 8. That's ridiculous, right? So by the time we come home, it's literally their bedtime, right? So, ladies, you can either I'm gonna give y'all the options. You can either go and get the kids ready for bed, help them shower, get their clothes, get their pajamas, do all that motherly stuff. And the hubby finds food or whatever, right? Or you can let the kids get themselves together, ask hubby, hey, go help the kids or do whatever, while you as a wife are fixing the husband's plate, the kids like last little snack before bedtime, fixing up the kitchen, doing things like that, right? Some of us, not knowingly, would come home, get the kids ready for shower, bedtime, blah, blah, blah. Husband will figure it out. Food is there, kitchen is still, blah, 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 right? Very few, or maybe some, I'm not sure, I'm just saying, would do B. So now, depending on which role you would choose, or which A or B, you can already see what is your priority. Where do you serve and submit?
Wow.
You think about that.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So for me, Brandon knows, and the kids know, you guys probably can guess it. No, it's not the kids. It's not. Like Brandon knows and the kids know. Hey guys, go take a shower, get ready for bed, get your pajamas. And of course it depends. I know some of you are gonna be like, oh, I have a newborn, or whatever you want to say. I get it. But this is where I even with ours, I told B, hey babe, just go make sure that, Fabian is straight in the shower, go get, see that he's good, go check Francisco, blah, blah, blah. I didn't have to do that. I could have been like, you know what, babe, get your food, I'll go do the kid stuff. So it's a matter of, that shows your priority and where you're okay to submit to.
Right.
So that's one of an example.
That was a great example right there.
You didn't think about that, huh?
Actually,
because you guys, so Brandon has gotten so used to the spoiledness and the comfort of I'm always him. I'm always like, okay, let me get Brandon ready. Let me, the food or this or that. The kids, okay, go shower, go do this, go do that. Sometimes I do both, but if he's super like, not good or whatever, but I let him know, hey babe, go ahead and do that. I'll fix this stuff. He doesn't even realize it because I've gotten to the point that that's just the lifestyle. That's just the routine that is him first. And I make sure everything is straight. And I know he likes it. He'll sit at the table and, he went and helped them one or two things with shower, sometimes just yelling, but it's help. And
you told me, she said, don't yell, go tell him.
So I was like, no, can you please get up? That's grateful and thankful. And but he enjoys it. I know he enjoys being able to sit, relax in his home. I do serve the plate and put it on the table for him. Yeah, I do. That's just something. I don't know if I know some of y'all be like, I don't do that, and whatever. My grandmother always told me you do that. That's how you serve and submit, and you show respect to your husband, right? It's not no slave stuff, nothing like that. Now, there are times that he does it, but he just came back from practicing, guys. He's the coach. He's tired. He had a long day at work. So, my back hurt. He knows that. I'd be like, my back hurt. This is about to be done. I'm tired, but it's okay. I like to serve him, and it's all right. Like we sat down, he sat with the boys after the shower. So I like seeing him with the boys, have the last, the dinners, the talking and hanging out, and then everyone's good.
That's great.
I could get a rub.
Yes. Hey, she working that rub up, right? She getting that rub, right? So another way is by prioritizing your marriage is laying your life down for your marriage without physically dying. You get what I'm saying? Do you catch what I'm putting down? Right?
No, explain.
Are you picking up what do you want to say? Are you picking up what I'm putting down, right? That's what he said, right? Put in your marriage priority It's not, huh?
You're not hot?
No, fine. You can turn the fan on. Putting your marriage priority is laying down your life for your marriage without physically dying. Do anybody understand that? If you don't, tell me what I mean by that.
That's good.
If you really comprehend what I'm saying. If you don't, it's okay. And what I mean by putting your laying your life down is really praying for your marriage. That right there is really putting your life down for your marriage without physically dying by praying about your marriage, right? Waking up every morning with gratitude about your marriage, about your spouse. When I wake up in the morning, and even I can be sleeping in the bed, and Jenna hear me saying my gratitude.
Even if he's mad at me.
You look mad at whatever. I wake up in the morning and I say, these are the first things I say. Just me. This is me. I'm grateful for God. I'm grateful for Jesus. I'm grateful for my wife. And then I go with the kids. And then I say, I'm grateful for life. And I'm grateful for oxygen. Right? So right there, I'm already prioritizing my marriage by even telling God that I'm grateful for my wife.
Right? Saying, no, he's alive, boy.
Right. You know what I mean? So I'm telling right off the rip, starting my day off, that I'm grateful for my wife. Right.
And that's a form of prioritizing marriage.
That's a form of prioritizing your marriage, right? And that is laying your life down without literally physically doing it, right? Because you putting it at the altar of who is first in your life. I said God, and then I said Jesus, and then I said my wife. She's the next thing, right? And I can be tired. I don't want to get up, but those affirmations and that gratitude comes out of my mouth. That's what I'm learning to be an expert.
And actions are important too now.
Yes.
Don't get it twisted. There's times I let B know, like, okay, you're so grateful and thankful. Can you go and get up and get me something to drink? Can you go and can you rub my feet? Can you put on my sock? And most of the time he'll do it. Sometimes he doesn't, or I just don't have patience and I just get up and go. I don't have time to wait. I could be choking by the time he gets up. No. So
she used to keep that water on the side of the bed. So.
What other ways can we show that our marriage is priority? Because then this is not just kids. This is business. Yeah. This is work. This is friends.
And that's the thing, right?
Friends.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
That
because I see a lot of marriages. BFF? No. I see. Listen.
What is no judgment.
No judging. No judgment. No tea. No nothing. But I do see, and I don't know what happens behind closed doors, but what I see on maybe some social media platforms, it's a lot of going out with the girlfriends on every other weekend or every week, or and it's like we never see your spouse, and I know it's maybe just a stunt on Facebook, Instagram, whatever, but still, like, you look at my Facebook, oh, it's me and B. I barely hang out with my girlfriends, like I really don't. But which we're working on, getting better hanging out with friends.
Yes.
But it should not be priority.
Right. It should be priority with hanging with your spouse.
Unless they can, and it's really difficult, then it's a little different and you got maybe more time with your girlfriends. But figure out a way that maybe you can try to like maneuver and work that out.
Yeah. Or prioritizing saying, I love you. Every time you get off the phone, every time you leave each other.
Oh, it's good. And the kisses, like
every time, so much stuff. Every time you leave each other, every time you get off the phone. And I said this on the last one, right? Sometimes this kid right here, hit her with that random I love you when she's not expecting it, right? And look her deep in the eyes and say,
you don't be doing that. When you do that?
Oh, you know what?
When you be trying to I'm like, man, just trying to get something. Get out of here.
She say that, but sometimes I just say I love you. Like, it's been times where I be like, dang, babe, I really love you. Sometimes I'll be like, yeah, right? It'd be like, dang, I really love you. But sometimes, like, this is when it's good right here. When you're like, what I'm about to say. I
don't even know.
Finish my sentence.
I'm sleepy.
Finish my sentence. Yes, you can. Finish it. I can't believe you, my wife.
Oh, gosh. He says this like literally all the time, guys. Like, I know he got a good catch. Like, come on, I know. I tell him all the time, like, I'm the bomb.com. I was the bomb. I'm still the bomb, especially, back in my days. Like, he caught a good one, So I understand that he can't believe that he caught me. Like, I get it, you know?
Yeah.
But it's too much sometimes. He'd be like, babe, I really can't believe that you're my wife. And I'm like, you can't believe you're married? He'd be like, nah, something I can't.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, you are funny. It's just silly. But it's good to tell your spouse. I tell Brandon every night, I'm grateful for you. You know, he's a blessing to me, to the boys, you know, so much stuff that shows not just words, but your actions to take the time, those 5 minutes to say that.
And those are things that you can start doing. You can start praying for your spouse. So she feel loved and protected. You know, that's one thing you want her to feel is loved and protected. Vice versa, you know.
So affirmations?
Affirmation. Well, but no, you also wanted to feel loved and protected as she goes throughout her day. She it makes her feel important when you like it may be as simple as me saying I'm grateful for my wife in the morning before I get my day started, but I know it's somewhat significant of making her feel important. You get what I'm saying?
Especially lately, boy. He the new boss at the job now, so no importance. I'd be like, tell that lady you are on the phone. Please.
So the thing about prioritizing your marriage is one of the main goals is to enrich your life as one together. Enrich.
It's going in, boy.
Enrich your life as one together. How can you enrich your life as one together by being prioritizing?
More sex.
More sex. There she goes. Yeah.
You're enriching the togetherness and you're prioritizing it because honestly, some people don't make time for sex. Like,
wow.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not even being like sarcastic or funny, but some people don't make the time to get some.
Right.
Like literally, like some people don't. And it's like, oh snap, it's Thursday and
we haven't had
none. In like 2 weeks. What's going on? And you know, we're not perfect. It's happened to us. Like I'm like, that babe, we've been running around busy. You know, I'm like, okay, because y'all know I don't play. I got my little calendar. That's how I knew the baby was coming. I was like, okay, sir. In a 7.5 days. What are we doing?
Right. So, you know, what are some characteristics by prioritizing your marriage? Like think what you would think about like what your spouse would think. What is some characteristics of prioritizing your marriage? And this is one I listed. Listening. Listening.
That's a good one.
That's one characteristic of prioritizing your marriage is listening, right?
What about showing their love language?
Well, before you go to that, I'm just want to break down that listening real quick. The listening is usually when a disagreement takes place and each one of you are trying to communicate love.
That's good.
You get that?
So give each other the time and the space
to
talk.
So when a disagreement usually takes place.
And don't be funny because I know, sorry, babe. Don't be silly with the taking the time because Brandon don't like when I do this. I'd be like, you done talking? Are you still talking? Like, can I talk? And he gets so upset because he's like, he knows I'm not listening. So I try to tone it down. He's like, were you listening what I just said? I'm just like, man, I don't got time for this. Who's going back and forth? You know, so just showing the listening as part of prioritizing the marriage. That's important, especially like you said, a disagreement, right? Yeah, it's when a disagreement takes place, each one of you is trying to really communicate love. That's funny, isn't it? Isn't that funny? When it's a disagreement. Even if you're angry, you're still trying to show love. You're trying to show love, right? That's funny. That's right though. Yeah. You know, because you want to show the importance of why you are upset with something and you don't want to feel that way or you don't want them to feel that way. And what is important while you're listening? Listen with empathy. Okay, what else? He's trying to get, guys. What else? Looking in the eyes. Yes. See, like, where's the bell? Yes. Because listen, especially for the men, look at the wife in the eyeball. Not the eye, the eyeball. Like if you don't see your what is it, your reflection, you're not looking. You're not.
So look directly.
And while you're listening.
While you're listening into.
Not the phone, not the wall, not the TV, not laying like in your bed with your no.
And look. So this is why, because guess what? This is your soulmate. What they say, the way to the soul is through the eyes. So right, you looking into you looking into your soulmate eyes, and that's the way you get into their soul right there. And y'all both are soulmates.
So you be tricking me.
So you gotta look into their eyes because they know that you're really listening and understanding what they're saying. And you that way, so what is that? That's when you start really feeling what the other person is translating to you, right?
That's good. What else?
Trust. Trust is another characteristic of prioritizing your marriage, right? Success union, right? So you want to have trust and keep items you should prioritize. Any partnership, you should make them feel secure, right? So the trust issue, you should prioritize your trust in your marriage, right?
How do you do that?
By following through on what you say you're going to do, right?
Oh, that's good.
By following through on
it's not always cheating. I'm thinking of another thing.
Yeah, by following through on saying what you're going to do, that's a trust issue, right? And you want to make sure that characteristic is really a strong foundation that is built on.
And you could build that with communication.
Yes, and I did this one call last year. It's called what was it called? Checking in.
Oh yeah,
right?
That's a good one.
A lot of guys, they feel like when you call your spouse or something and you're around your boys, it's checking in. You know what I mean? Because hey, let me call my wife real quick. Oh, you got to check in. You got to check in with her.
What do you say when they say that?
I'm like, no, I'm just letting them know where I'm at and stuff, because if something go down, at least I got somebody who can come get me.
And then your friend be like, yeah, you checking in, homie. You trying to make a different way.
Yeah, trying to make it a different way. No, because that's the thing, right? When you do that and you just already let her be aware of what's going on in the situation, it's no problem. It's better to be somewhere and you already let your wife know where you at than her wondering and calling and getting 500 other people.
Words, not hear from them for hours.
Right, calling the Air Force, the Navy, the Marines and stuff, and making sure you at where you're supposed to be.
And you know what? I don't even think it's done out of not trusting the spouse. I think it's also, like you said, just feeling that safety, feeling that security. Like, okay, especially when you travel, like, call the person, like, hey, I'm here. I landed. I'm at the hotel, like something, because anything could go down anywhere. But you're traveling, God forbid something happens or there's an accident or, whatever you want to just, like, for me, I like to feel that security. Like, he knows it. I do it sometimes for work.
Yeah.
When I'm able to, like, keep my eye open, I'm like, hey, when you get to work, call me. Just let me know you're good. And when he doesn't, and I wake up and I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. It's just, well, for me, I know, and it's more of, it's way early. He's probably, he just tired, or the people on the road. Maybe someone's coming from a late night partying. Like I used to think so many things, and I'm getting better.
So the thing is, right, is that trust. And when you do that, right, that builds a strong foundation with, your wife, especially like when you're out of town. That's a good thing. And the last thing you want is something to happen. And she's like, oh, he wasn't over there, he's somewhere else. And, she
got hurt and you don't even know like what happened.
Yeah, like, where he at or whatever. Something went down on the news. And she's like calling you like, hey, and you're not answering your phone, but you in the spot where it happened in the news. You know what I'm saying? Right. She's like, yo, it's going down over there. Where you at? I'm trying to call you. I want, and you in the midst of the atmosphere spot, right? So trust. Another characteristic, because we're about to wrap it up pretty soon. Honesty.
To show priority in marriage.
To show priority. These are characteristics.
Oh, I got a great example for that one.
Oh, go ahead, girl. Go ahead, sister girl.
Listen, when you find out something about your spouse from someone else.
Speaking.
Listen, Linda,
right.
Husbands, why? Just tell her, or just say something, or just, I don't know, even wives, just let him know, or just be more open about it, or adamant to discuss it, or something. But don't be is my elbow ashy? Oh, okay. Don't be at that family cookout and, cousin Shaquana come out of nowhere and be like, yeah, be remember that time? And you're like, I didn't know that part. Like, you kind of skip that part. Like, you kind of like, Brandon. And it can't be me, because I call him out in front of the people. Like, you can't tell me that part, And the cousin might be like, oh, snap, I done blew the cover. Mm-hmm. That right there, you're breaking a bond between your spouse, like each other. Like, there are scenarios that you should really discuss with your spouse before something can go down, especially at family functions, that you want them to know, or you don't want any issues. Like, hey, babe, if so-and-so show up, she done call me about this, and that, and I, whatever. And when the person brings it up, because they probably will, you feel confident, you feel trusted, you feel like he's your buddy, he's your best friend, he's your confidant, not like the opposite.
Right. And think about this, and I don't know if y'all ever been in a situation, but think about when you came across somebody who tried to put out the business, but your spouse already know. How did your spouse react? She's like, I already knew about that. Like, so why are you being messy? You know what I'm saying? See, that's the best thing, or you don't want to do it. Like, yeah, I already knew, The
only time is when it's the opposite.
Yes.
When you find out something and your spouse still believes that he shouldn't have told you.
Yeah.
Because I think we had that discussion where, in case you bump into somebody or something happens, I would like to know. And he was like, for what? I don't think it should be even a discussion. That's a past scenario, blah, blah, blah. But I think it should. But that's something he's like, for what? So I would never know if we go to the grocery store and it was been 20 exits at the cashier line. I would never know, because he still believes, for what? And I believe it should, I think, out of respect, like, especially if it's me and someone comes up to me and it was like an ex or something like that, and he's there, I think Brandon should know.
I think if they come up to you, it's a different scenario.
Like if they say hi, even if it's a wave.
Yeah, if they say hi. But I feel like,
and if they don't, he thinks you could just walk right by them.
Yeah, I think, hey, if I think,
and it's like, wait a minute, she done suck your thing 50 times, and I don't even know.
No. I feel like this situation, fellas. I feel like this. If she's there and it's a previous relationship prior to his marriage and all that stuff, then she keep going and I keep going. It is what it was. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's nothing. And I'm not gonna dig. I'm not gonna dig up.
Like,
no. See, we ain't gonna have that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you check them.
It's a rule.
You control them.
No, it ain't no control. It's already a rule.
Like that.
It's a rule set in place. Like,
no, you give it a look. Like,
no, because you know what? One of your ex dudes better not look at me crazy, right? The same vice versa, right? It's like, hold up, dude, what's going on?
They come up to me, though.
That's the thing. That's totally disrespectful. Right?
Why?
That is disrespectful.
Why?
Because
so just ignore me?
Because y'all.
I think that's rude to ignore.
No, you got to keep it moving. And look, see how this conversation.
That's not friendly.
Listen. Keep it moving. Y'all had what y'all had.
That's why I'm glad I'm not from here, because my exes are all back home.
We done turned the page from that chapter, and we're gonna keep it turned. Okay, it's nothing to go back and review. All right, we're gonna get to the end of this book. Now, see, that's a problem. That's
why they're in Connecticut.
That's called soul ties, guys. We'll get into that. We'll get into that a little bit later, but it's called soul ties.
Session alive with y'all about having friends that are exes, and I don't mean you talk to him or her every day. I mean, there was no bad blood. You didn't have no issues. If you see them, hey. If you don't, it is what it is.
Okay.
If your Facebook friends, cool. Like, that's it.
Yeah. That's fine. But like, as far as like having like phone conversations.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But it is a thing called soul ties, guys. If you look at research soul ties, all right.
Here we go. Okay, next.
So the next one is forgiveness.
Come on, man. I need my nap. Look at my eyes.
She's trying to get out of the conversation. She's about to get over here and get a headlock on. She's about to get a headlock.
I need a nap. Can someone save me?
So look, forgiveness,
Can
right?
we tap in? Someone tap in.
Look, forgiveness, right? So it's easy to forget, right? And then, you know, what they say, it's easy to forget. I mean, it's easy to forgive, but not forget.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? It's easy to forgive, and not to forget, right? We get that right. Let's get that right? So you can forgive somebody and you won't forget the situation, but that don't mean to constantly, that don't mean even to bring it up. Once you forgive, you let it go, right? But what you're not forgetting,
what you're not gonna do.
What you're not forgetting is the level of trust or whatever the boundaries that you put in place so this can't happen again, right? That's what we're doing. And
you both agree to forgive and move forward.
So if it
happens by mistake,
again, we put these boundaries in place so it wouldn't happen again, okay? I can forgive you, but I'm not going to forget what happened, okay? So we're going to put these boundaries in place. Now, once you jump over these boundaries,
priority though,
because for you to forgive, your relationship got to move on, and this is a priority. Your relationship is your marriage. Work on your relationship. Yeah. So if your marriage is priority, you got to be able to forgive so y'all can keep moving in the right direction, or it's not. It's just going to stay stagnant and stay there, right?
And because of that, then you don't show priority because you really don't care.
Yeah, because you're not caring. And then we're going to go with communication. It's always best to spend quality time to improve your communication. You should be committed to doing that with your spouse, right? Communicating, and then faithfulness.
Communicating just shows your value of your relationship.
Yes. And then faithfulness. You know, if you ask any old couple that's been together for years after years, 100 years, 50 years, 60 years, you say, hey, what kept y'all together? They're going to say communication, right? They're going to say that's the number one thing. It's constantly communicate with your spouse, spend quality time with that person, right? And then faithfulness, right?
Being committed, showing that this marriage is your committedness, like your focus, your number one. Like, we are faithful to one another, we respect one another, we have each other's back. Like, I think that's a big deal when it comes to prioritizing.
It's about this. Faithfulness is with loyalty. Loyalty is royalty. Y'all get it?
I get all of them.
I'm gonna make them shirts right there.
I'm gonna get all that.
Loyalty is royalty, right? So if you loyal to God, right? How does that work out?
You got all the crown blessings.
Yes. Okay. So loyalty is royalty. So it's not just about sex, and it's not it's just keeping your life together. And then, like I said, the gratitude is another thing.
But think about this too. Faithfulness in all aspects. You're putting your marriage first. There's no way you're gonna be in a scenario that you show unfaithfulness, like adultery in a sense. Because faithfulness, yes, you could be faithful and loyal, but we're also discussing faithful physically.
Correct.
Because if your marriage is first, you know, like, okay, she is gonna choke me if I get down like this. You know what I'm saying? Because you know that doesn't work.
Well, that's the thing. You don't put yourself in those type of situations, and you recognize when you're about to get into that situation. You're like, oh, hold up, nah, I can't even go over there. You know what I'm saying? I see what they're doing over there.
But that also goes back to, like you said, communication. Like, all the things you're already saying should help you kind of like eliminate any type of scenario.
Right.
Like, because if you're calling your wife where you're at, you're not gonna not call her and you're at like some lady's house at a party or something.
Right.
Like, you're gonna call, and then if it's a funny scenario, Because we listen.
Oh, they hustle and
we listen like.
Hey, they got this thing in their ear called the background noise. They hear the background noise over your whole conversation. You could be saying something, and they hear everything in the background. They can hear the score of the football game.
Like what she said?
Who winning? Okay, yeah, I just heard the announcement. What happened? Who got hurt? You're like, what?
That's so funny though.
So, but yeah, guys, prioritizing your marriage. I wanted to go ahead and go over this topic because this is something that you got the next
11 months, 10 months, 11 months to value this.
Yes, right. So
especially if you're going through a struggle, you're going through a difficult time. Your goal is to be a better spouse for the year, or like talk to your spouse more, or be more intimate, or whatever goes, which I hope you took our advice at the end of last year and did a goals for your marriage.
Yes.
Because if you did, not just business, not just personal, if you did and something is lacking, for this year, man, my goal is to express myself more. My goal is to do more dates. My goal is to put her or him first. So this conversation kind of boosts that up. Yeah. Like, okay, you know what? I had this goal anyways. Let me continue to work on this priority for my spouse.
We're going to book a couples trip, or we're going to do our individual trip for our marriage. You book a trip, you can take time. Husband book a trip for you and your wife book a trip for, you, vice versa. So that, if you like the winter trips, then you book the winter trips. If she like the beach trip, you book the beach trip. Right. If y'all both like the beach trip, she book a beach trip and I book a beach trip.
Cabin trip within the next 2 years.
So that's what she wants. She wants the cabin trip. She can go. She can go.
Stay home. Is that what you're saying?
We could go on this cabin thing, right? But
I'm not cabin fly, guys. Like I'm talking about jacuzzi. We'll do the ones with an indoor pool. Like I want it to be fly stuff.
We'll do
let's go tent and the cabin and the freaking camping and there's animals coming around me. Like we're not doing that.
See, that's the up north stuff too.
We're not.
She want a cabin though, luxury. Right?
And you can see the whole
trees. What is it called? Glamping?
No, that's a tent.
Oh, that's the tent.
I want to do the cabin first and then maybe the tent.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But I want a dope cabin.
I got you.
Like I want to be the jacuzzi
with the super drop bead.
Dope. The jacuzzi on the deck overlooking the view of the mountains. That's the time. And not pregnant or just had a baby or nothing. I want to be able to and
oh, she's trying to wild out
the whole shebang.
Listen. Hey, anyway,
I want the no kids cabin first though.
Here we go. Right.
Or they can come. They gonna be asleep.
Listen, nothing wrong with a little
fun
melatonin, organic melatonin.
Especially with the baby. Put him down somewhere.
But look, so that was it for our call, guys. I hope y'all got great value. I hope this boosts a little bit for your relationship going into 2023. We're about to wrap up the first month in 2023, right? Hey, it's never too late to get off to a start, guys. It's never too late to finish first.
Okay.
Right?
Love you.
So with that said, now you about to pray us out. Okay. So
thank you.
Here we go. All right.
Honestly.
So
here we go.
Again, tune in on our Instagram at marriage.p.o.r.n. Pure, open, renew, and navigate. Marriage porn. Y'all know what it is. Stay tuned. Keep tuning in. Yes, they know what it is. We're a year in this thing. Look, stay tuned. Follow us on YouTube at Barker Worldwide. And we're live on Zoom. We also will be having a guest.
I believe on Monday.
A guest couple on Monday that we'll talk about some interesting conversations. So it's not just us.
If you have any hot topic ideas to ask other couples, let us know.
Yes. Any questions, anything, y'all tune in to that. So we'll be getting that together and that information out to you guys. Also, we have an ebook coming out pretty soon. So you guys stay tuned for that update and that information as well. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and pray us out. Spirit of the living God, thank you for blessing us with this information today. I just pray that this information goes out to the husband and women that are married, the wives, the husband that hear this information. This can be a conversation starter, an icebreaker for something that is not happening in a marriage. and God, you just improved their marriage with understanding why you decided this should be the conversation of prioritizing the marriage, right? Prioritizing each other, right? Knowing that they are one together and that you have blessings in store for them that's going to carry them into months and years and lifetime ahead, right? Let's just thank you, God, for this message, and thank you for this information that you gave us to give out to the people. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. So again, thank you guys for tuning in.
Thank y'all. I'm about to have a bomb massage and a bomb night's sleep. Woo.
Yes.
Y'all have a good one. Thank y'all. Close this one.